Hey guys, I thought I'd share my first impressions on my 2023 300XC. I just put about an hour and a half on the bike. I just came off of a 2020 250XC that I put 395 hours on, so I ride quite a bit. I ride here quite a bit. I know this spot well. Leaves are down. I did put a headlight on this bike because I hit a little bit of road and I didn't want to get hassled. But anyway, my biggest takeaway is that I can't believe how easy it is to ride this bike quickly. Every berm is easy to stay where I want the bike to stay. The bike just kind of goes where the trail goes without any effort. Feels light and nimble, but so did the previous bikes, but it just handles really well. Haven't even checked my sag yet, but I'm pretty familiar with how sag settings feel. Felt good in the sand, felt good in the corners. Rode for an hour and a half, is about 21 miles. Fuel is down behind the shroud somewhere. Just a little bit of spooge coming out of the muffler. Looks pretty good. So the bike handles good. The variables, it's either got to be the chassis or the tires. I've never run the MX-33 front tire before. I still have stock tubes in here, so I cranked them up to 15 psi. That's not typically what I would do. I do generally run a firm mousse in the front with an M59 front tire. My rear mousse is generally a little softer, so that could be a contributing factor. I think what I'll do is I'll take tires off of my other bike and stick them on this bike and see how it feels in comparison, see how that makes this bike feel. But I think that I have to contribute it to the chassis. The other thing is that a lot of guys out there are saying how scary fast this bike is. I didn't feel that exactly. I've spent a fair bit of time on 450s and that sort of thing. I wouldn't say it was scary fast, but what I did find was that I would just be holding it wide open in places that I wouldn't normally because it felt so natural. So it felt scary fast in the sense that I was riding at a faster pace than I normally would. But I don't know the last time that I rode and kept my feet on the pegs that much. It's really easy. The bike goes where you want it to go, so you're not stepping out and making adjustments. Just feet on the pegs, bike's going where you want it to go. Everything felt really good, really natural. First lap out, I felt comfortable on the bike. I was getting used to the engine and transmission. I came off a 250, so the engine is different. This transmission is quite a bit different. They combined the XC and XCW transmissions. So for me, coming off of a bunch of XCs, first gear feels too low to be usable to me. I think what I'll do is I'll actually gear this bike higher. I do ride a little bit of road getting to this spot usually, and 6th gear felt a little slow to me, so gearing higher will be a win-win for me. First will be more usable and 6 will be a better cruising gear. But I don't have any complaints about the transmission other than that. No big gaps between the gears. They did a good job of that, and the ratios, 6th gear is actually taller, so it should actually be a good cruising gear. They changed the final drive gear ratio too, so instead of being like 1350, 1351, we are now, pretty sure that's 14, yeah, it's a 14 front and 48 rear, I believe, 48 or 49, so they changed the sprockets a lot. You could, if you wanted to go 1350, this would be like a hard enduro machine. I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna go like 14, maybe 46 or 45, something like that, see what that feels like. But other than that, transmission felt really good. Oh, the other thing is, everybody says the suspension takes 5 to 10 hours to break in, and that this chassis takes 10 or more hours to break in, and so it has 2.3 hours on it right now, and I was definitely feeling the bike was feeling more and more comfortable. It's in gear, but the bike was feeling more and more comfortable even on the 3rd lap, so I was feeling really good on it on the 3rd lap. Dropped the bike in the mud in one spot, and I was still 20 seconds off of my fastest 2-stroke time out here. My 354 stroke is faster out here, but I'm pretty happy with that.